Majella O'Donnell, welcome back.
Thank you very much,
the
Noel.
Cancer Ball. You were here as the very special guest last year, and you must have done something right. They've invited you back, and so kind of you to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, you have to support your own. This is my home county now. This is where I live. So obviously, I want to do everything I can to promote awareness and raise money for cancer here, especially in Donegal. So.
And Majella, you had your own very public brush with cancer, and I say very public because you used it to great advantage insofar as you heightened awareness throughout the country and beyond.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, I suppose I don't know what it was that prompted me to go on the Late Late Show and shave my head. I really don't know. I have to say that when I was diagnosed with cancer, I never really believed it. Maybe that was my coping mechanism, I don't know, but I never really took it on board the whole time. I just thought, okay, they've told me this. I don't feel sick, or I don't feel like I have, but I have to do this, this, this and this, so I'll do it anyway. But I never took on board the whole, oh my God, I have cancer and it's a life-threatening illness. It never really dawned on me, so I was kind of lucky in that respect, I suppose. So, the chemotherapy and everything is very tough, and the surgery, but it didn't, what will I say, I didn't go into a very bad place over it, thank God. If I did, maybe, as I said, that's my coping mechanism, that I just try and stay positive.
And what you're saying is really, you almost find yourself on the Late Late by default, really. You almost
absolutely.
Woke up one day and thought, well, did I just do that?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly how I felt, yeah. One night I was just lying in bed and I just thought, well, I wasn't thinking at all, I was nearly asleep. And a thought just came into my head, and I believe in higher powers, and I believe I was just destined to do it. Maybe that's the reason I got cancer, who knows. But I feel that it was something I should do, even though I thought to myself it might be, some people might find it distasteful, or it's a risky thing to do, but I actually felt that it was the idea was coming from a good place. Therefore I felt that it would be okay to do it, because I thought, the reason behind it is a good one, and whoever has inspired me to do this will be looking after me. So it was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing, the response we got.
On a different note, how much does it change you and the way you look at life when you've had a brush with cancer, when you're faced with the reality that you have something that might well be life-threatening?
Well, as I was just saying, I don't think I ever really took that on board.
Imagine.
I mean, I know it's probably very strange. I think most people that get it will go through a very, frightening, lots of crying. I never got to that. I just didn't believe it. To be honest with you. So has it changed my life? Not really. Obviously I value my life. I want to do as much as I can now rather than waiting. I mean, myself and Daniel are just going off on a 4-month cruise now in January, and this was something we decided to do after I got cancer, because we thought, it could come back any time. You never know when your number is up. And so I do now believe in, if you're going to do something, do it now. Yeah, don't be waiting. If you can, then just do it and live in the moment. And
of course, on a different note entirely, you have charmed the nation and beyond with the wonderful visit to our treasures, the D&Bs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you thoroughly enjoyed doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, Daniel took 18 months off.
Yes.
And then, of course, we ended up being as busy as ever between him doing Strictly and, doing the B&B thing. But that was something that we did together. So that was the whole point of having the time off, was to spend time together. So we did when we were doing the B&B road trip, and we had great fun.
And so successful.
I know.
People are watching it in their millions.
Received, yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I kind of thought people would see a side to Daniel that they'd never seen before, because when we're together, you know, the interaction, we're so different. I mean, he's very dry wit, and then of course I'm the loud, noisy, you know, all excited one, but the interaction between us is very funny. And we even watched one of the episodes 2 nights ago, and the two of us were all laughing just watching it again.
It certainly does all of that. It shows you as being very compatible, and I don't mean that to be in any way patronising.
Sure.
But you're like two halves of a whole. Yeah. It's great fun.
It is.
And of course, to watch the reaction of people.
Absolutely.
But what's lovely, and I mean this as a compliment to you, it's also not all about Daniel.
Yes,
And I really do mean that as a compliment to you, because I've said that to different people.
Really, it's supposed to be about Ireland. It's supposed to be about the people.
Well, let me tell you something. It has very little to do with Ireland and very little to do with anything other than you and Daniel and those wonderful women who adore him and adore you. Yeah?
Yeah.
And you hope to do another one?
Well, we haven't
another
been
series?
Sort of approached yet, but I think the production company that we were
Well, I am applying to that production company because I want to be invited along as a third person because it was just so enjoyable. You wanted to be there.
Could you handle that? Now, 5 cameras in the car all day long with you.
Yes. You have to be careful.
You have to be careful.
Oh, jeepers, you could say the wrong thing.
Tough going. We did a couple of occasions, but thankfully the producer was very good.
Majella, again, thank you for your support of the Cancer Ball, because you know the importance of a night like this.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. We need to do everything we can, really, A, to raise funds, and B, to raise awareness, and, you know, to get people, I suppose, checking themselves and being more open about it, because there are so many, you know, steps now being taken to beat cancer, especially breast cancer and prostate. They're getting very, very good results. So really, it's very important for people to make sure that they check themselves out.
And all those stigmas and all those old sort of nervousness we had about speaking about cancer, it was almost the word that wasn't to be mentioned.
Well, exactly, because I think when you did, from years ago, it was like, you're going to die.
Yes.
You've got cancer.
And of course, nothing's further from the truth
absolutely. Now, it doesn't have to be. Certainly, there are some cancers that are a lot worse than others. But thanks be to God, in my case, you know, breast cancer is so much more treatable now than it used to be, especially if you catch it early.
And tonight's a great example of that. The room is full of
inspirational people.
Absolutely, inspirational people who were challenged and overcame it. Majella O'Donnell, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Delighted to have you here.
And lovely to be here. Thank you.